Hello again, folks, for the final time tonight. Welcome to our last 70-star league race of the night, this time between RockChalk and Puncayshun. I'm Electric, and I'm joined in the booth by Protoman. How are you feeling before this race?
I'm feeling good. I think this will be a pretty spicy one. How are you doing, 3L3?
I'm doing pretty well, third race of the night commentating. Wish we had more to go after this one, but unfortunately had a couple of postponements and a couple cancellations. But no matter, we've still got a spicy one for y'all. RockChalk in fourth place, Punkay in second. The standings won't really be changing on this one for RockChalk, looks like, but for Punkay, this is pretty much a matter of whether he'll be able to stay tied with D-Whatever going into next week or solidify himself in second alongside Cheese going into next week. So this will be an interesting race to see the results of. RockChalk, if anyone's going to be able to dethrone Punkay, RockChalk definitely has some potential. He's a very, very solid player who, like, in his time with 120, he's really been making a name for himself.
Absolutely. And he's thrown up a couple of good times this season. I know he got a 49 against me in our race, and certainly capable of that. Even though I don't think he's been playing too much as of late, or certainly hasn't been streaming. But Punkay also, hasn't been doing a ton of Mario recently, so we'll see.
Yeah, I don't know if this is still applicable, but I remember seeing a little while back RockChalk talking about like some sort of exam that he was taking, and I apologize because I can never remember whether he's studying or is in training to be an ophthalmologist or an optometrist, but it's something relating to eyes. I know that much. And I remember him saying on Twitter a while back that he was going to put his console in the closet for a little while, like studying for those exams and whatever residencies and such. So I wonder if that might still be like kind of what's affecting him a bit.
Smart man. Priorities, I guess. Personally, I think Mario should take priority over everything in everyone's
Right?
life. But,
Yeah, just only play Mario. Forget progressing human civilization. Just play Mario.
Well,
Make
you
the
can
guy
do
move
that,
fast.
but, just put it at the bottom of the list. Or,
Yeah. So, all right, bomb clip coming up from both players. A nice successful Lakitu skip. Nice to see the players not being too far behind over just a dumb cloud person. Oh, but Punkay is going to be a little behind due to a dumb Goomba person. Just bonking him right out of the way of his intended path. All right, now RockChalk advancing over to the slide. Punkay going to be falling right behind him. Do you happen to know which movement is faster going over the slide, whether it's wall kicking right above the door or on the wall beside it?
I actually do not.
No. I feel like it's probably the wall beside it. The advantage of doing it above the door, I think, is just you get to hold up left directly, whereas the other way you can't hold up right. Otherwise, you'll hit the other wall first. But it just I don't know if the other way saves like just like a 0.1 or something, or if it's just a force of habit that runners like Punkay still do it.
12-8 and 12-6, just like
not bad slide times. Yeah, the script knows all the time. Punkay actually missing the star on the rollout there. A little uncommon to see.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. I think Womps will definitely tell us the level of rust here that we might expect the rest of the way, but who knows? And sometimes, after Womps, if you get a good Womps, you feel a lot more confident, and some of the rust just fades naturally.
Yeah. So first getting started with the kind of inconsistent single trick stars. RockChalk going for Cannonless first. Punkay going to be headed up for Owlless first. RockChalk gets a wall kick instead of a ledge grab. And he wasn't expecting that wall kick at all. So, yeah, a little bit of time loss having to go over to Wild Blue, but I mean, it both hurts and helps that he didn't go all the way through the Cannonless setup just to fail. So it's not really a true like second try Cannonless, but it hurts that now you don't have your backup and you didn't really get a good attempt at it in the first place.
Right. Still probably only a 5-second time loss or so, if this goes well.
Oh, and then misses the ledge grab this time around, trying to just be really careful with it.
Oh dear, no one's getting Cannonless today. Class is canceled. Got a little mini sync going.
Always nice to see. All right. Now let's see what they're going for now. Yeah, Owless on RockChalk's side. Punkay still messing around with Cannonless after his first try fail. Oh, RockChalk though misses the wall kick. So not even like a late wall kick or anything like that. Just completely biffed it, unfortunately. He's got it this time. And so now, Punkay moving on into 100 coin. Punkay notably, against many opponents, will lose the full cycle movement.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought Punkay always did pro cycle in races, but...
I've seen him do pro cycle, especially like in the later season races, like during the semifinals and such. He'll pull out pro, but a lot of times during, especially opponents that like have like a 48 or 49 PB, he'll end up going for just the full cycle instead for that extra consistency.
Right. I think it's a smart move.
Definitely. Because the ending doesn't lose a ton of time, and it's just the extra leeway that you get really helps.
Yeah.
Especially when all you've been doing is raiding Molten Core for the past like 6 months.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the tricks in the game where you really want to be, you want to be hot recently. You don't want to go into it cold. If you haven't been playing a lot, there's a few strats that are really, like Tama Plus, let's say.
Yeah.
Or triple jump wall kick in like what Dry World something.
There's a lot of if anyone here like watches Shift, the Battle for Bikini Bottom player, he's talked before about like when you spend a day or two away from that game, like a lot of basic tech just starts breaking down because that game is so timing heavy. And the same thing happens, albeit to a slightly lesser extent, with this game. Like you said, the less time you've been spending with it recently, there are things that do start to fall apart just a little bit with consistency.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised if Punkay does a few safer strats for him throughout this run.
Yeah. Just play it nice and consistent.
Hopefully they'll just be close throughout here. Just within a star or two. Keep the popcorn flowing.
One more star real quick. Top of the fortress can always be a little finicky. But let's see if both of these players are able to get it. Punkay with the nice fence clip movement there for his double jump. And RockChalk with the same.
Alright, very clean. Maybe we're all warmed up now.
You know, pretty comparable womps from both players, so not a huge lead developing for Punkay just yet. And of course, there is still plenty of run to go. I'm going to go ahead and say a 12-8 on both sides this time around on the slide.
12-7 on both sides according to the script, but it could have been amended.
I think my copy's a little out of date. I always print my scripts like the Tuesday after the week before's races. I just like to be able to read up on them and familiarize myself with them,
I go over with the highlighter usually. It's best so you know what's coming. And see, there's the 12-7s, just like I said.
See, I used to do that, but then one week I accidentally used a black highlighter, then people thought I had a leaked government document, so I stopped doing that.
Redacted.
Punkay now with some quick flying. Let's see how well his flying is held up over the little break he's taken.
Dude, that's another thing for me at least that just goes away. Like, I don't know. I can't fly. It's playing regularly.
It's so heavily timing based, and like many other things in this game, an early mistake propagates a lot throughout your later movement. Like if you're in just a weird position, like too far down, too far to the left, whatever, it's hard to mentally account for that in your later movement. You end up just doing what you normally do, and then you're still too far left or too far back.
It's so reactionary, so analog. It's not like something that's like a muscle memory type of trick or something in the game, because it's always different. You're never flew twice exactly the same.
What's also a pain is like when you start the star, you're holding upright, but you don't want to hold it until the text box appears. Like you have to time that really well, and that also has like a pretty decent impact on how the rest of the flying is going to happen.
Yeah, that pesky text box is one of the more annoying ones, really.
If you could just hold down right until it appears, like that star would be a lot more consistent, honestly.
I agree.
But another one that could be more consistent, but just isn't, is Dark World, unfortunately. But both players on pretty nice Shig pace so far. Bunkay just right in the path of an amp, though. At least he was so early for Shig, that's not going to affect him, but that's always a pain.
Yeah, I'm the type, if I get shocked, I assume I'm not going to get Shig because I'm just not that fast.
Right.
But some players, like, I don't know, I feel like they can almost get shocked twice and, like, barely make it. Well, maybe not twice, unless they're doing, like, Suji Cycle.
Yeah. Now, RockChalk there, kind of interesting how he had to do the ending movement. He actually did, like, the Shia style ending, but with a later cycle, so saved a little time over just doing a normal cycle, but was still a little bit slower than true Shig. So Punkay now basically a full Bowser fight ahead. Nice little text box sync there.
Yeah, cute. Missed throw. Just a little missed throw, probably a 3 or 4 second mistake.
It's always annoying to miss a throw like that, but at least he didn't throw him off the stage. That's just so unforgiving.
Well, it's really annoying if you make that type of throw mistake in Fire Sea, and then you're like, oh, I don't know. It's really tricky to grab him, and then sometimes he'll teleport in Fire Sea and stuff.
Yeah, that's just the worst when he teleports.
Ugh.
And of course, just waiting for him to realign the stage like he does, it's just like, come on, dude. You're sliding the stage around so slowly. Do you really think that's gonna make me fall off? All you're doing is wasting my time. Now, Punkay with a nice sky jump. Let's see if RockChalk can match here. Oh, and RockChalk actually doing the rollout out of sky jump there. I don't think that was like intentional, but it's interesting to see.
I like it. Oh, taking a fall on wall kiss will work there.
And a bigger fall than normal, falling all the way off that upper platform.
Yeah, it's gotta be like 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate mistake, but it's just with how thin that ice rail is, like that's just inevitable a lot of the time, unfortunately. Now RockChalk with the Penguin Star real quick. There's this little optimization that like very few people go for because it's very hard and it doesn't even save like half a second. But if I remember right, there's like some kind of way that you can have the penguin be dropped but still be able to move Mario and like it'll still register
Yes.
It's a weird thing that I've seen D would ever do like once or something. But
yeah, people were messing around with it more, I feel like 6 months ago when it was like new to the meta. And I don't know if anyone still does that regularly. Certainly not in races.
Oh, RockChalk taking the danger bonk there. If you take that bonk a certain way, and for some reason when I bonk, it's always this way. Like you hit the corner of that upper platform and then fall all the way off the stage. And like it's the longest death you can take, and I don't know why, but for some reason I like always get that death if I take a bonk there. I don't see anyone else always get it like that. So both players actually on CCM 17 route with the little bit of rust that might have developed, which I don't think there's a ton because these players are still playing really well, but it'll be interesting seeing how Double Plus works out and if they decide to go for Taba.
That bonk, it kind of reminds me in like TTM, or if you like hit like a gopher or something, and then you can like do a series of bonks where Mario slowly slides to his death ultimately. It's just like the most frustrating way to die.
Oh yeah. Anything where you lose control of Mario for more than 10 seconds is like the most rage-inducing thing ever. Like if you mess up in Wet Dry World 100 enough and you end up getting thrown by one of the heave hos and then the other grabs you, like nothing will make you madder.
And you see it coming the whole time. Or TTC 100 if you fall down onto the heave ho, or he's like far away, but you know he's gonna get there like right as you're starting to move. It's like, okay, just kill him now.
Right. It's like almost as infuriating as getting plus and then immediately dying to Talon Star or something, like on PvPs.
So Puncay is doing double plus here. Is he gonna be doing double Tama? I'm so confused.
We'll have to see. I mean, I could see him doing it because I think like he's been a pretty big adherent to Tama Plus, but we'll just have to see how he's feeling because RockChalk is decently close to him.
I guess it's so ingrained that that's the type of trick. I don't know. I feel like it might not be the best strat if you're somewhat rusty, but we'll find out.
Yeah, the timing on it is so tight, and I think what a lot of, especially like casual viewers, don't realize is that like part of what makes Tama Plus so hard is you end up sacrificing a lot of opportunity to adjust your angle. When you're doing standard plus, when Mario's climbing back up the sand slope, you have a pretty decent window of time to adjust your angle to how you approach the pyramid that you just don't get at all with Tama Plus. And like,
Yes.
there's only certain situations where you can actually move the stick while you're in the middle of plus. If you try to move the stick at the wrong time, the bomb will just blow up in your hands.
Yeah. There's so many ways to fail it. Well, they're both gonna do double. If they get all 4 of them, I'll be shocked. And I will give subs to people.
Yeah.
Go 4 for 4 though.
That's a tall order. Let's
I
see.
like my chances of keeping my money on that one.
Only make bets that you don't think you'll lose, right?
Yeah.
Oh, RockChalk actually doing the speed side flip for Bookcase Star there. So there's a tech in this game that's really cool called a front flip. You might think that you can only side flip opposite the direction Mario's running, but if you start a side flip by pulling, like, say you're running forward and you pull back to start a side flip, but then while Mario's starting to side flip, you press forward before hitting A, Mario will actually side flip forward. That's called a front flip. The weirdness of it though is it does take a little bit longer than like a normal side flip. With a normal side flip, like you just hold back and like immediately hit A and he'll side flip. But with a front flip, you do have to like wait for Mario to actually start moving opposite the way he was running, then hold forward and jump. So it's a little more difficult to time. But,
Yeah, it's pretty technical.
It's a really like useful tech throughout a lot of stars in this game. And that case in BBH is one case where you see it. So already Proto Man is not going to have to lose any money. Punkay missed his first plus, but RockChalk, very, very clean Tama to start already. So, okay, RockChalk in a pretty decent position now. Let's see what Punkay can do here. Just going with standard plus here. And he's up the pyramid. All right. And another Tama from RockChalk. RockChalk is really, really nice and consistent at this right now. Wow.
Looking very good. Should be, I don't know actually how good this pace is. Maybe it's not that great.
Oh, Punkay loses the bomb. Oh, wow. I think did he hit B there? I don't actually like know Plus personally, so like I don't know like the specific in and out.
Exactly what happened.
Like the bomb didn't blow up in his face. It looked like he threw it away. I think it may have been an accidental deep B press, but I could definitely be wrong. Like I said, since I haven't grinded the trick myself, I don't know all the very precise ins and outs.
I failed it that way. I've also failed Star's accidental Z, you know. Just when you're flying or something. Tap Z somehow. Oh god. Disaster.
Any way it can go wrong, it probably will at some point, right?
Absolutely.
Now I didn't see like it looks like RockChalk lost
Star short.
Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly is going on there.
He might have missed Mips.
He must have, yeah. That must have been it. It's just weird. I don't remember seeing him like make a severe mistake, but he's a lot further behind Punkay than that one.
Right. Yeah. Well, Womps, I guess. I don't know though.
There's something weird about Start actually. I wonder if they both missed Mips because Punkay was only sitting at 24 stars after Reds. He should have been sitting at 25 after, so I think they both may have missed Mips.
Or did Punkay just do pillarless ones?
Oh, that's probably it. That has to be it, actually. Okay, I'm stupid.
I always tell myself in a race if I miss pillarless twice to just do HMC early.
Yeah,
But then sometimes I just get frustrated and tilted and just try it again anyway.
right. But I mean, HMC early only technically loses 1 second. It's just really nice to not have to do an additional stage star.
Yeah.
And of course, like it does kind of kill your confidence a bit. Like, great, I can't even do the route I wanted to do. Awesome.
Well, plus you're forfeiting more time if you're sacrificing pillarless, which is potentially a 14-second star.
That's very true.
You know. But if
For
you
like
decide-
what's likely going to be like a 32 to 35 second star.
Yeah. RockChalk doing the pro wing cap there. I think that's
Very
the
nice
pro wing
movement,
cap.
especially with that
Oh,
speed
yeah.
kick. And there, like, it's weird to me how many different cams exist for that, but like, there's one that's really nice and pretty clean, like where you can do a Mario cam that faces right at the box. Like, there's one cam setup, and I think this is what they have on the wiki, where like you do a Mario cam C down, but you keep hitting C down over and over to keep the cam in front of Mario. It's really weird, and if you don't do it right, the cam will start to turn during the side flip that you really don't want it to turn during.
Right.
So it's just that there's little things like that where it's like, why did people ever make themselves deal with this camera? There's so much nuance to how exactly the camera works in this game that it can be a little difficult to pick up as a casual viewer. Yeah, fair enough. It was mentioned in chat before, yeah. RockChalk with pro lava boost. Let's go.
Nice.
Oh, missed the double jump for pro ending though. Oh man. At least, okay, yeah, he got the line of coins up there. So what?
Oh no, it's just
So
unfair.
unlucky. Oh, that's
right.
unfair.
Or almost everything. It's like getting Tama plus first try and then bonking inside the pyramid. Falling to your death or something. It's
He's
just
gonna go for the.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
the boost not even working the second time. Man. Punky having to take a quick ledge grab here for triple box, but still works out just fine. Triple box is another one that, like, there's more going on than meets the eye. You might, as a viewer, just look and think, like,
Oh, the
RockChalk
same thing there. Dang it.
He just keeps, like, he keeps setting his distance a little too tight, I feel like. And
Yeah.
he's getting an opportunity to jump. There is dust, but it's just, he's jumping. I think he's probably hitting A a little too late, if I had to guess.
Or maybe one frame too early. I don't know.
That's true, too.
Either way. There we go.
Either way, it's not coming out. But finally, he gets up there. It's really unfortunate. Now, Punky gonna go ahead and do emergency exit. This is his star instead of dealing with MIPS. And of course, being 70 star, you can't do the Toxic Maze BLJ, so.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
There's talk about changing that rule, but I think it usually gets overruled.
Is there really? Like,
Yeah, because it kind of makes sense that you should be able to. Well, I don't know. I don't know if I want to get too controversial here.
See, I mean, it is true that BLJs can be made somewhat consistent, as proven by a few runners in the community, but it's just like, it does kind of make the category much more arbitrary. Like, you can use this tech, you just can't use it in this very
Right
specific
here.
spot.
Yeah. No, it's fine how it is.
I mean, I definitely feel like it makes the category better to not have it, because your real sources of inconsistency are all like strats rather than just BLJs alone.
Right.
I do have to wonder, though, how much the route would be changed by being able to get all the way into Tippy from right when you hit upstairs. Like, I feel like you might see a couple stars get adopted that wouldn't normally be, and a couple ones dropped earlier on, but I don't feel like the route would be that different either.
No, I don't think it would be too much different.
Yes, Gamble Mountain. In 70 star alone, BLJ is banned. Since 70 star is effectively the any percent no major glitches category of this game, and BLJ is really like the most major glitch there is. Alongside that, like, MIPS clip is also banned in 70, but like the biggest thing is BLJs, because banning just the active backwards long jumping for a benefit, that alone prevents you from doing SBLJ to skip past the fire sea door, LBLJ to get through Dark Hole without 8 stars, prevents you from going all the way up to Tippy with only 30 stars or less. So like ultimately it kind of makes the category more consistent, since for many players BLJs are horribly inconsistent. And it makes the category much more focused on like the stars inside each of the stages rather than like just some honestly dumb movement tech that you do as castle movement. And there's only like a couple of stars that you would reasonably try to use a BLJ on. One of them would be Toxic Maze. You would end up BLJing to that star if they were allowed, but that's like one of, I think, like 2 or 3 examples. There's very few. But anyway, most important stage of the run coming up now, DDD with RockChalk pulling out rear sub, the hardest strat in the game. Even harder than any BLJ.
I think I'd use it for the bully star, you know, that little BLJ on the bridge.
Oh yeah.
0.1% consistency.
I wonder if you'd be able to like do the JRB BLJs, if those would be fast enough to warrant being included.
Right.
That'd be such a weird route. Go down to basement, go get metal cap real quick, and then come back to JRB to get like 3 quickie stars.
Sure. Yeah, I think JRB is, if you do like a perfect frame walk, it's only like 2 or 3 seconds slower if you incorporated JRB now. Just to get that 1 star, right? So you just get 1 star in JRB and then leave. It was just timed recently, I think, by Drogi or something.
So that'll be interesting if there's like some like weird alternate strat found that's RTA viable for something else in that stage. We might actually see it in 70.
I think it's extremely unlikely, but you never know.
Yeah, like there's a chance. It's low, but there's a chance. Kind of weird movement here from RockChalk, but ultimately still, I think, on Lava Boost pace. Yeah, he okay, no, he's not. Yeah, it's everything there was just a little bit unoptimal, and that's what that added up to. That's how tight Lava Boost really is. But he was still able to get a really nice early Ellie's, so like that's still fine.
Yeah, just about 9 seconds lost.
Almost able to avoid the burn, but not quite. No death, please. Okay. That was very stressful. Not quite getting into the heart there.
Spending a little extra time. His heart there. Well, it's almost Mario Day, March 10th, right? I don't know. That has to do with that heart. Wait, it is March 10th in Europe.
Yeah, it's about to be March 10th in the Americas.
I'm excited. I don't know what I'm gonna do to celebrate.
It'll be a good day.
Absolutely.
Okay, Punky there, I think, very nearly just save and quit. I saw the arrow on save and quit when the options went away. So he must have like hit down just before hitting A or something. And save and quit down in the basement before Fire Sea would just be so good.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if you're gonna do it after Fire Sea. That's like maybe the best time.
Because that loses only a couple seconds, if that. It's almost nothing, because after Fire Sea you normally just exit course anyway.
Right.
It does still, of course, lose time just having to move all the way back into the castle from outside, but
gotta be maybe 5 or 10.
At least it's better than like trying to get back down to HMC from outside the castle after a save and quit.
It doesn't quite get good ending because of the scuffed dives at the end there, but
still a better ending than RockChalk got, at least.
Yeah, very solid.
And now, of course, it does maybe look to many viewers like RockChalk is ahead, but you got to remember that Punkay did do HMC early, as you can see from the star count there. So once both players make their way into Tippy is when their routes will reconverge.
Yeah, I don't remember now for HMC early what a great like Fire Sea time is. I know like for anything 25 or sub 26 is really good, especially for a race. If you're doing HMC late, I don't know. I don't remember. Is 28 like 55 good here?
I would think it's an okay time because like normally you expect, I think, like around a 3-minute HMC when you're doing the HMC late route. and
Yeah, that's
about a
true.
minute of that is taken up through castle movement. And you could reduce that to about probably 20, 25 seconds for the HMC early route at the most. So, like adding 230 to a standard good fire seat time, I feel like would pretty well give you a good HMC early fire seat time. But that's just like back of the envelope calculation to quote
Oh, that
the
sounds about
famous
right.
one.
That sounds about right. I think a really good like HMC gold, yeah, is like 307 or something for HMC late. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah. All right, Punkay dealing with 100 coin now. RockChalk already finished up on it. Oh, but Punkay bonks on the blue coin switch. All right, now RockChalk going for elevator. Nice awning kick there. And Punkay with some really, really clean movement up to this fifth secret here. Punkay actually going for like the kind of risky chuck you throw there.
Yeah.
Like I don't does angling the chuck you like that even save time? I don't feel like it did.
I'm not sure exactly.
Like I feel like he just made it more risky for no real reason by turning it just slightly to the left like that. He could have just been like relying on the RNG putting many of the coins like in his direct path to the wooden plank.
Yeah, I think it is probably on average slightly faster, but I don't know. It seems much riskier, and the coins can fall off the edge.
Right now, Rock shocking arrow lifts.
I'm surprised Punkay didn't break the box before he did the triple jump on that ramp. I don't know. I don't do that. I don't break it either, but
Yeah, you see some players do that. To be honest, I doubt it saves a ton of time since you already need to do something to cancel damage when you fall off the elevator anyway.
yeah,
So
I
he may
think
just not think it's quite worth it since you have to position your kick so far back if you do that.
yeah.
I mean, if you're going to do that strat, you may as well just convert it into the double jump kick, which I'm pretty sure you can't break the box with, but I could be wrong. It might just be really hard to break the box with that.
Oh, the double jump kick. Yeah, that's another. Never even tried that one.
That strat is just straight up ludicrous. Like, I don't understand
is.
anyone that does that. You got to really, really know your speed kicks to do that. All right, Punkay with a quick little warp for shocking arrow. Meanwhile, RockChalk in his favorite stage, gonna be pulling off an island clip real quick here. All right, nice movement from Rock, and let's see how Punkay decides to handle THI now.
Very good secrets.
Yep.
I feel like that's one of those stars that Punkay just. It's like a clinic. I don't know. There's certain stars where certain players just don't seem to screw up.
Yep, like you see some players have that with secrets, some players with reds and TTM. Like everyone has their, and I feel like it kind of relies too on like whenever you delve into single star, which stars were your personal favorites back then.
Sure.
So I'm pretty sure D whatever like still holds the single star record for TTM reds, and so it's really no surprise that he's super good at it.
Or just like Bendy sometimes with there's certain tricks he just doesn't miss. And I mean part of that is just because he's been doing it for so long. I don't know. It's crazy. I hope I can get to that point someday with like any trick or
Right?
like any of the difficult ones. Like,
It'd be nice to, like, not feel like you're on the verge of screwing everything up.
yeah, someday.
That's where I'm at least. Like, anytime I get a decent run going, I always get so nervous, like, immediately. Like, just the other day, like, I finally got a decent-ish CCM and then immediately lost a minute to falling off the roof in BBH, and I was just like, okay. Like, that's just when you're starting out, like, a lot of what you have to fight is just getting nervous because you know that you're finally getting a good run.
Right.
So much of this game is mental. Like, it's really underrated for people that haven't run it, just how much of this game takes place in your head.
Yeah, especially in a race setting sometimes. RockChalk, very clean, both wall kicks there.
And that was a really, really nice top of the mountain star there, or scale the mountain as it's called.
Oh, scale the mountain. I don't know if I knew that.
Yeah, there's a to the top of the island, and then there's scale the mountain, just like how there's express
Okay.
elevator hurry up, and then elevator tour of the volcano. Like,
That's
a lot of
top
stars that
town.
have similar names are just hard
Yeah.
to remember names. Like SL Whirl from the Freezing Pond, also known as the star where you do some kicks up a slope and then slide over there. There's no whirling involved or any pond involved if you do it right.
Right, or shocking arrowless, or hidden books. It's like, wait,
Right.
books? Books.
What's a book?
Do you know the pattern for the 3 books?
It's like middle, left, right, isn't it?
I don't know.
I want to say that's what the pattern is, but I forget it.
Sounds right. Clean reds.
Pretty decent reds from Rock, yeah. Gets his triple wall kick. Gets a little bit blocked by that maze geometry. That slope that... Okay, RockChalk is going to take the ledge grab there.
Sometimes this star can domino like no other star, but at least they can get like gophered and do the falling down thing or something.
Oh, that's the worst when one of the gophers just decides to get in your way.
Oh yeah.
But that polygon that like kind of bops RockChalk back, if you like go into the maze and then go into first person cam and look at it from the side, you'll see like it's at a fairly steep angle. So the higher that you try to go to like clear that platform a little easier, the further away from the wall you actually have to be.
Right.
So it's a very sadistically designed area of the game, in my opinion.
Yes. Oh, the Goombas are kind of messing with Punkay this run. I wonder what the lead is now, though. I like that we got one HMC late to make it, at least for the moment, appear to be pretty close. I don't know.
Yeah. Now, real quick, speaking of the dominoing effect in TTM Reds, like Punkay kind of messed up his start to the maze movement, but then really, really cleanly backed it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Like, RockChalk is probably going to head down to HMC like just before. It's going to be fairly close to when Punkay hits SL, so it'll be interesting to see how the routes end up converging after that. And what's going to be kind of bad for RockChalk's side is the movement back up from HMC late takes a lot longer than just going from SL to Tippy. So,
right.
So Punkay moving on over to SL. He's got 4 stars left before he's, or sorry, 5 stars left before he goes with the Tippy. So he's gonna have to grab an extra star that RockChalk doesn't have to deal with. But RockChalk, of course, does have all of HMC left to go after he finally gets out of SL. That's part of what you also have to consider when you end up converting to HMC early, is normally when you do HMC early, you plan your route so that you don't have to do like 2 stars in here like Punkay's having to do, or 2 extra stars rather. But because Punkay had to do the conversion mid-race, he's having to do both SL
when
Reds
do you
and
think
Toxic
the last time Punkay's done SL Reds? Like, he might not even remember where they are. He might just be here for,
He might just have to do 100 coin to remember where they're at.
Yeah.
Just grab himself another extra star and then just skip TTC 100.
But then, when's the last time he's done TTC Swamp Star?
Oh, wow, yeah. At least half that movement is shared with time jumps, so that's always nice.
That's true. Alright, here we go. Let's see how this goes. See if he knows where the shell is. Okay.
And you can see like he even takes a little bit of different movement on the slope because he's not aiming for the box this time. Also, just enjoy Punkay's like completely white out sun bleach screen. I don't know why his capture does this, but in SL it just gets blinding every time.
Yeah, there's something goofy with mine too. I don't know. What's with this stage? Well, that's pretty okay. I mean, Fifth Red was the best, but at least you remember where everything was. I don't think I've done this start for years either. I don't know what I would have done.
It can be a little finicky, but at least everything in that star that you could miss, you can back up really quickly. Like, even if you end up somehow missing one of the reds, like, on your starting platform, like, the slope is such that you can just double right back to go grab it. It's a pretty forgiving star,
Yeah,
ultimately.
in theory, it is a pretty free star, which is why I was so hesitant to switch to HMC. HMC late, I guess, a couple years ago. But I realized that as quote-unquote free as it is, I was still losing like a couple seconds on it consistently. And as long as you catch MIPS in the basement, it's hard to lose more time doing that.
Yeah, and in my opinion, it's actually easier to grab MIPS when he's the 50-star MIPS than the
When
15.
he's faster?
Yeah, because to me at least, the 15-star MIPS moves so slowly that sometimes I'll get in front of him when trying to dive for him.
Right.
So, like, the movement I end up doing, I have to, like, kind of, like, purposely take corners wider on the 15-star
Right.
MIPS.
As long as you're not doing punch grab on the 50-star MIPS, then it's so fun. But I don't do that.
It's a big old oof to try and do punch grab on 50.
So Punkay can still, if he has like a perfect tippy, I think he's still like high 48 days. But it would have to be pretty good.
Punkay did get a pretty quick glitch grab there. So when you grab the very bottom of a pole like that, the animation of Mario like going whoa and grabbing the pole actually puts him slightly below the pole unless you hit B again, like on a very specific frame during that animation. So when you see like Punkay just like glitching out on the pole, what that is he's mashing B to try to like do it just fast enough to hit that perfect frame. If you get really consistent at the timing, you can do that instantly with just 2 B presses, but like you have to grind that a lot to be consistent at it. Punkay having a lot of trouble getting into
like
reds.
That backup would have been so clean if he hit that. That's the way I like to back it up too, but it didn't quite work out there. Oh no. RIP 48. That's okay though.
Get the 5 slide at least.
The script called for something unexpected around this time, so we'll see. It's not over yet.
Yeah, there certainly is still a decent amount of race to go.
RockChalk could get a high 50 with a perfect tippy here. So that's, I mean, considering the multiple deaths in Lethal Lava Land, that whole fiasco, and a few other somewhat major mistakes, still, you know, it's not the worst run in the world. Like, it could be a low 51 very easily. Still get points regardless. I mean, who knows? He could still win, but even if he doesn't, he can still pick up quite a few points here.
No doubt. Getting Lakitu bounce first try. It's going to be a nice confidence booster. Punkay also doing this like topside movement for swinging in the breeze. That ending is just ridiculous.
He's so good at that. I thought maybe he wouldn't do that because he hasn't been playing for a while. He's so consistent at it that way.
I'm going to be doing Toad early real quick.
Solid tricky triangles. Alright, TTC 100.
Oh, walks off the platform to start real quick. Yeah, he's just going to convert this into reds. I don't fully blame him for that.
I don't get why.
I think he didn't like the position that he got up onto that last platform at, and so he didn't really want to mess around with that triple jump wall kick.
Oh yeah. Better. Yeah, it would be like a 25-second mistake, I guess, if you die there, as opposed to just a few seconds.
Because all he really lost there is just the timing from trying to grab the box first, which really doesn't take that much time.
No.
To be honest, I think it takes less time than even if he like would have survived his backup, but just had to take like the yellow triple jump. Like, I think that still would have ultimately saved time. So it's a weird looking decision, but ultimately it makes sense when you consider the context.
Probably right.
RockChalk with a little more comfy, but still pretty difficult bottom side swinging in the breeze. Nice little fake sink on the star grabs.
That's an interesting way to get into TTC. I don't think I've seen that before. Long jump and then ledge grab. Coming from Rainbow Ride, it was kind of bizarre.
I've never really seen that either, geez.
But I kind of like it because, I don't know, one of the fears is you get there too early. You don't want to get too early or too late, and that seems like it's a really well-timed thing.
Any movement where you're not having to like weight yourself is nice, as long as it's not too hard, I find.
Yeah, that was a really good backup at the beginning of this 100 by RockChalk.
Oh yeah.
Looks like a chess S.
It's now Punkay in more comfortable position for the triple jump, and he does land it first try. It's all right. Good stuff from Punkay here.
Oh no.
Oh!
That's such a common and punishing mistake. It's like a minute time loss. It's really not fair.
You can see like he's just brushing it off, but at the end of the day, he's gotta be pissed at that.
Yeah. You press B like a frame or two earlier and you save a minute. So I mean, it's just brutal.
But Punkay is going to be able to finish up 100 coin here at least. And so with that, 68 stars, just 2 more, and he will be on his way into bits. And here's one of them, if he can get up this level. Kind of a weird TTC star order, and I hope that like he's thinking ahead and he's realized like I already have reds. I really don't need to go back in after this next star.
That is one drawback of not doing a consistent order, which I usually don't do consistent orders. But the positive thing is, if you're on English, if you're down to 1 star, or 2, you can just be reminded of what stars you have left.
Wait, he's grabbing the same star again.
Oh,
he didn't. Wait, what? I swear that the empty star was get a hand. What? That's really strange. I swear that the highlighted star was get a hand. Okay. I guess I just can't see. That's weird. I swore he was grabbing the wrong star there, and I thought it was really surprising when he started with left side movement. I was like, wait, what?
RockChalk doing the ending correctly there. No minute time loss. It's so unfortunate.
Punkay nearly taking a death there. You saw like that triple jump was like as late as it could possibly be on that platform. Oh, okay. He must have been like doing menu glitch or something else that made him select another star. Because when I looked, I think I just assumed that the blue star was the selected one, and the text was reading "get a hand." So I only like kind of glanced at it before he selected it. So it must have been that like another star was bigger.
Got Big Red's attempt here.
This is just there's a reason you don't see this backup attempted too often. it's even in this form at its easiest, it's still very finicky.
I kind of want to learn it just so I could do it if I needed to, like, if I need it to PB, like, you know, I'm tied with my best possible time is tied with my PB or something, and I, like, need to gain a couple seconds. But I definitely would never learn it to, like, pull off in a race. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
RockChalk is just gonna take the death there. Smart move.
That's really smart. Okay, looking like a 49.
Oh, missing the throw though, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay, RockChalk is
Barely
nice time
49.
jumps. Fairy, there are a lot of opportunities that tiny bits of lag start like affecting the run as well, and plenty of opportunities where like your camera movement has to reduce lag in order to make things easier. But there's a lot more lag in this game than you might think. Like for instance, TTM Reds, the maze section has a lot of lag, even when you lag reduce with a C-up cam. But anyway, Punkay with a 49.53, not the best time for Punkay, but still a really impressive race. I mean, that just goes to show you how consistently and how well Punkay always plays. Like a high 49 like this is very out of the blue, just odd for him, but it's still a
Yeah,
good run for anyone else.
I think, yeah, probably his slowest time of this season.
Yeah, I feel like that's the case too. Yeah, it has to be.
Yeah, maybe his slowest race, like in GSA period. Who knows? I
It's
don't
the
know.
slowest run that anyone has ever done of this game.
Sorry, Pumpkin. So RockChalk, if he finishes within 5 minutes here, he'll still get some points. You get 1 point for every 10 seconds. Or
Yep,
one
and
additional point, that you win by for every 10 seconds you win by.
yeah, and like this season as compared to last season's, points aren't quite as important because the standings are initially determined by just win-loss record. But in the event of ties that would determine who has to go to finals or semifinals or whatever, the point total is the tiebreaker there. So
Right, so points might not come into play at all. Who knows?
But they
if you
might.
have like 2 or 3 people who finish with like 5 wins and 6 losses, and that could be the difference between making the playoffs and not. It could be.
Exactly. So even though it might not matter, you still want to get as many points as possible. And RockChalk taking a lot of time to decide whether he wants to continue without saving or just save and continue.
RockChalk's probably pretty safe as far as the playoffs go, I want to say. But it could still be the difference for seeding, I guess, too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I guess he could get maybe 5 to 10 points here still.
It's certainly not over just yet, and especially with a clean bits, he can collect a decent number of points. His start looks decently clean.
See that speed kick? No.
That speed kick to cross that gap is just such a power play.
It looks beautiful, but yeah, it scares me.
Oh, nearly getting that backup ledge grab there. If you're able to recognize and react quickly to missing that triple jump wall kick, you can actually like grab back on the plank and lose very, very little time, but it's hard to get if you're not like really focused. Or just like you can try to get it, and what happens to RockChalk will happen to you, where you just don't quite get close enough.
Yeah. Gonna hit a high 53 still. With clean throws.
All right, let's see it happen. So he's got the tail grab. Oh, far left field throw, just a little bit too early.
The reaction there. It's just, that's good. You know, don't beat yourself up.
And just gonna restart? Okay. Why not?
He wants to go 3 for 3. 3L3. 3 4 3.
Oh, okay. I get it.
You know. It's more fun that way.
There we go. Laser focus throw on that one. Let's see another one. Okay. And one more for the road. There it is.
Cool. Still gets
Nice
the
ending
points.
for RockChalk. So, all right, yeah, he's gonna get like I think 2 to 3 points on that one. So not a ton, but still a pretty decent finish, especially like all things considered. It's been a little bit of a rough run at certain points, and especially like that TTC death in the middle of 100 coin. That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
really brutal
It's
mistake.
just almost unfair.
But GG's to both of these players. You know, just haven't quite gotten as much time as they may have wanted recently to play, but still really nice finishes from both players. And that will close out our programming for the night. Thank you so much to everyone who turned in for any of our 70-star races today. We'll be having more 70-star races, of course, next week, starting at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with D Whatever versus Blue Bob. And if you wanted to watch some of those races that unfortunately got postponed today, those will be next Monday. In the meantime, we will be moving on to our variety content. Come check us out tomorrow for Task Tuesdays and later on in the week for our Mario Maker tournaments. Quick reminder that all of the runners and many of the commentators that you saw today all stream, so give them a follow if you like what you saw here. And finally, it's been a pleasure calming with you for this last race, Proto Man.
Hey, it was fun, Electric. See ya.
See y'all around. Hope to see y'all again next week, but if not, thanks for stopping by this week. Stay calm, people. Stay peaceful. Have a good week.
They are synced.
They are synced now. Do whatever. In the lead again.
Wow. Side for sure from Cheese. Okay, doing it, moving. Oh no,